Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
Just keep in mind, if you're in West Texas and you have groundwater, there's arsenic in your water.
Last week, you'll remember on CBS7 that we told you that the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality has notified the City of Midland Water for Purification System that the drinking water had exceeded the maximum containment level for arsenic. Tonight, CBS7's Hannah Brock tells us about the city's next steps. She'll have that story coming up in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Lauren Munt, and tonight we have new details for you. According to a new report, methamphetamine is likely the cause of a crash involving the University of Southwest golf team. You'll remember in total 9 people lost their lives. 6 USW athletes and 1 coach were killed in the crash when a van carrying the team back to Hobbs, New Mexico, collided with a pickup truck on FM 1788 in Andrews County. A man and teenager in the pickup truck were also killed. Today, the National Transportation Safety Board determined that the probable cause of the crash was the pickup truck driver's excessive speed and his crossing into the oncoming lane of travel, likely because of impairment from methamphetamine. Tomorrow, CBS7's Tyler Poglich speaks to an attorney representing the family of one of the victims in an in-depth report on CBS7. And we have continuing coverage for you now. Midlanders may have recently noticed a lot of news about their water. Over the last week, we've told you about water main breaks in the city and arsenic in the water. Today, Utilities Director Carl Crego held a meeting to address these issues and discuss the next steps. CBS7's Hannah Brock visited with Crego. Hannah, what did you find out?
Crego says the main breaks are a symptom of fluctuating temperatures and brittle pipes. He also wants to clarify the arsenic was detected in one city water source, not the water that flows into homes. The city supplies water to Midlanders from 2 sources and blends them together. It includes one surface water source that supplies 70% of the water and another groundwater source that supplies 30%.
That 30% of water ends up mixing with the 70%, which is surface water, which has no arsenic in it. So it's, by the time it gets to someone's house, it's actually been blended way below the allowable levels. But since one point of entry into the city had those high levels, we still have to report it.
The average annual limit for arsenic in water is 0.01 milligrams per liter. The city's groundwater source had 0.0108 milligrams.
So this is the first time the city of Midland has gone over the average annual in 7 years. It's not to say it's nothing, but the first time in 7 years, again, you have to ingest high levels of arsenic for several years to create any health effects in humans or even animals. Your dogs and cats are fine.
Long-term exposure to significant arsenic can cause cancer and skin lesions, according to the World Health Organization. Crego says Midlanders shouldn't worry about the local low levels. However, the city is pilot testing a way to remove the arsenic rather than relying on blending water. There have also been 8 water main breaks in 3 days, leaving 6 to 26 households without water at a time. When the ground freezes, then thaws like it has recently, brittle old cast iron lines will break.
The city is currently replacing all 4-inch iron lines throughout the city. We're spending about $2 million a year for the next 5 years, trying to get most of those 4-inch mains out of the ground, and then we'll move up to the larger lines from there.
As of this afternoon, all water main breaks had been repaired. On January 24th, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality will take another test to determine if arsenic levels are at a safe level. For CBS7 First Alert News, I'm Hannah Brock.
Back in November, the city of Odessa passed an ordinance that requires its residents to spay and neuter their pets. Recently, the organization Fix West Texas took to Facebook to say that the city could be doing better to enforce this new ordinance. City leaders are aware that they have an overpopulation of dogs and cats running around. The new animal shelter in Odessa opened in April, but FWT leaders believe it's not being used properly and that animal control handing out tickets isn't the solution.
We don't want more animal control officers going out and ticketing people. We want animal control officers to go out and hand out vouchers.
The city of Midland has a $70 voucher that can help the cost to spay and neuter. Patterson says that could happen in Odessa too, but Odessa Mayor Javier Hoven disagrees. To see his response, you can go to our website. That's on CBS7.com. The real cause of the flood in Midland was a faulty sprinkler head. One reason the county believes it's failed is due to the building's aged infrastructure.
It was a sprinkler head that was active. Not sure what caused it. Looking into further as of today, it's a sprinkler head that failed. So I do want to put it out there, it was not caused by the freeze that the lines froze up.
Midland County got right to work on repairing the issues. The Commissioners Court will be active on Monday. Missed events and meetings are being rescheduled. Time now to talk your weather forecast now with meteorologist Sawyer McElroy. Sawyer, what can we expect as we head into the weekend?
Well, today was a very pleasant day outside Lauren, but as we head into tomorrow, we're going to see some changes on the way. Already starting to see those across portions of the state, where Amarillo is at 26 degrees currently. We're still seeing temperatures relatively cool to chilly out there in the 50s, some 40s as well. Currently 52 in Midland, 58 in Odessa, 46 in Marfa, so starting to get down in some of those cooler spots. But winds overall not too bad, anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But we are going to see those winds ramp up and those temperatures decrease. Satellite and radar, mostly clear skies outside, but with this cold front that we're tracking, we're going to see a little bit more cloud cover as we roll into tonight and into our Friday. As we head through tonight, going to be on the cooler side into the 30s by about 3 a.m. And like I said, those winds ramping up. Over the next 3 days, not going to feel very spring-like we saw today with those temperatures into the upper 30s, low 40s. But overall, we're looking at quiet conditions and temperatures returning near normal by next week.
The Midland Development Corporation has a new board, including new chairman, Lorcy Sams. The MDC is negotiating with businesses that may move their operations or headquarters to Midland. One of the major focuses for 2024 is with Midland Spaceport, the MAF airport. Sam takes over for Chase Gardafi, who still remains on the board until the end of 2024. The two believe this move will create a smoother transition and better collaboration.
I think it's fantastic. Chase has done a fantastic job, and it allows us to work together in a lot of various projects, and it lends a lot of experience to the board.
It's just going to be a ton of fun just to continue this year and continue the momentum with Lorcy taking over as the chairman. I think we have a fantastic board, and we're really excited about all the things that we're trying to do for Midland.
In the January 8th meeting that brought in the new board members, the MDC also approved a $200,000 payment to UTPB for renovations to the school's Center for Energy and Economic Diversification. And in your education news, Bynum School in Midland is celebrating 40 years of shaping the minds of special needs children in the Permian Basin. And in honor of this occasion, the school is asking West Texans for a one-time donation that will allow them to continue their mission. It's called Give for the Future, and the money raised will help renovate classrooms and make more room for future students. They've reached their max capacity limit in student enrollment, and students in need are being placed on waiting lists.
One thing that's so important about the Give for the Future is Bynum is actually at capacity. So in order for us to grow and serve more of these kids and more of the community, we need to be able to fund expansion projects. So it's a big push.
Bynum is hoping to raise $400,000 by the end of this year. For more information on how you can donate, you can visit our website. Again, that's CBS7.com. And across Texas, law enforcement officials posted video of state troopers arresting migrants in the border town of Eagle Pass. It comes as House Republicans held a second impeachment hearing Thursday against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
The Texas Department of Public Safety posted video on social media of state troopers handcuffing migrants at Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. It is the latest escalation in a standoff between Texas officials and the U.S. Border Patrol in an area where large numbers of migrants have crossed in recent months.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
On Capitol Hill, Americans impacted by the situation at the border testified before lawmakers. Tammy Noble's 20-year-old daughter, Kayla, was sexually assaulted and murdered in 2022, allegedly by a 17-year-old gang member who entered the U.S. illegally.
Kayla fought for her life that day with all that she had, and in the end, she lost to an individual that wasn't even supposed to be allowed in the country.
Nobles told her story to a Republican-led House committee holding its second impeachment hearing against Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who is in charge of the Biden administration's border policies. Secretary Mayorkas wasn't at the hearing. Instead, he spoke about immigration at a conference with U.S. mayors.
The collaboration and coordination that is needed is not only among federal, state, and local officials. It is also between us and Congress as we work to fix what everyone agrees is a broken immigration system.
Also this week, a federal appeals court reversed an order requiring Texas to move a controversial floating barrier on the Rio Grande, meant to keep migrants out. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
A vote on Mayorkas' impeachment by the House could happen as soon as February. If it does, it would be a first for a cabinet official in nearly 150 years. And yesterday, 12 people who were inside the Sandman Hotel in Fort Worth when it exploded filed a lawsuit against Atmos Energy Corporation, the owners of the Northern Land Development, Sandman Management, and Rock Libations, which is the company that owns the restaurant inside the hotel. The lawsuit claims that these companies were negligent in their maintenance of the natural gas lines at the hotel and that they didn't take the necessary precautions to keep people safe. According to attorneys, the plaintiffs in this lawsuit suffered traumatic brain injuries, neck, back, knee, and shoulder injuries, and hearing and memory loss in the blast.
We've represented over the years, a lot of explosion victims, and what you see is similar to what you'd see almost in a battlefield. I mean, these individuals went into the hotel either as guests or employees, thinking it was a normal day. There was a distinct and overwhelming smell of gas that was noticeable to everybody in the hotel for at least an hour and a half or longer before the explosion. It was brought to management's attention, and nothing was done about it.
Atmos Energy conducted its own review, and its investigators say the infrastructures they are responsible for maintaining was responsible. The Fort Worth Fire Department, which is the lead investigating agency, has not determined a specific cause. You're looking now at today's top headlines, shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. You can see all these stories and more by downloading our app or visiting our website at CBS7.com. And still ahead, the extreme cold sweeping the nation comes with a price tag. Up next, we break down those numbers on CBS7 News at 9. A huge section of the country has started 2024 with unusually cold temperatures, and a new system on the move today is bringing more extreme cold and more snow to the central and eastern U.S. The extreme cold comes with a price tag, one that many Americans may feel now and later. Karen Kafa explains from Washington.
The extreme winter weather and frigid temperatures felt coast to coast this week can come with hefty costs, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. NOAA estimated overall damages and costs of a northeast winter storm and cold wave last February that produced some of the coldest wind chills in U.S. history at about $1.8 billion. A cold snap that knocked out power to customers from Texas to Maine in December 2022 cost about $8.7 billion. Tama Carlton is an environmental and resource economist at the University of California, Santa Barbara. She says there can be individual household costs for the extreme cold.
If you work in a sector that requires you to be outside, like construction or mining or agriculture, probably a lot harder to do your job in these events, and so that affects household incomes as well as labor supply and productivity in those sectors.
Higher heating costs, even for just a week or two, can pose a challenge and risks.
We should be thinking about the households who are forced to trade off increased health risk from this cold event against paying more money to keep the home warmer.
Extreme cold can also take a toll on crops and put stress on livestock, which could eventually push up grocery prices. The current stretch has also been tough for airlines and passengers. Last weekend saw more than 6,000 cancellations around the U.S. Saturday through Monday, according to FlightAware. And when a flight is canceled, airlines are required to provide refunds. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
From Seattle to the Jersey Shore, nearly 70 million people are under winter weather alerts across the country. Today and tomorrow, snow is expected across the Midwest, New England, and parts of the South. And now you're looking at the pictures of a cold-stunned sea turtles. These were taken by the Texas Sea Life Center in Corpus Christi. The team there has rescued more than 40 cold-stunned sea turtles and have been caring for them amid cold weather. Turtles aren't the only animal that can get cold-stunned. This week, bats in South Texas were also given care during the freezing temperatures.
Well, today we saw those temperatures well above freezing in the 70s and even 80s across the area, but tomorrow is going to be a different story as a cold front rolls through late tonight. I'll have all the details and what to expect coming up in just a few moments.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's meteorologist Sawyer McElroy.
Good evening and happy Thursday, everybody. It was a very nice day outside today. We have a little bit of a westerly flow pushing warmer air into our region. And, well, we definitely saw that with our high temperatures across the state today. 60s, 70s, and even closer to home, we saw some 80s along the Rio Grande. Dryden got up to 81 today. I know Rio Grande Village was up in the 80s as well. Midland and Odessa in the 70s, 74 in Midland, 76 in Odessa for today's high. Marfa only got up to 68, but hey, that's not too bad out there. Definitely feeling a little bit spring-like for our Thursday. Current temperatures starting to cool down out there, 40s, 50s, and some 60s still. 62 currently in Fort Stockton, 60 in Presidio, but down to 52 in Midland, 58 in Odessa. We do have some cooler air on its way, though. We do have a cold front kind of situated across parts of the Panhandle and then into more central Texas, but that is kind of east central Texas at the present time. Current temperatures across the state, well, you can see kind of where that cold air has already passed through. Currently 26 in Amarillo, and then areas south still kind of warmer. Current winds not too bad, anywhere from being calm to about 10 miles per hour, but we are going to see those ramp up as that front rolls through. Quiet and mostly clear conditions for us for our Thursday night. For Futurecast, headed through tonight, you can kind of see that front rolling through by about 12:30, the Midland and Odessa area, continuing to push off to the southwest as we head into our Friday. Mostly sunny skies throughout the day. Tomorrow, though, quiet conditions as well. Like I said, though, we are going to be colder with those high temperatures. And in the morning, for sure, with forecasted wind chills, single digits and teens for the majority of us, some 20s as well, but definitely want to bundle up if you are out and about early tomorrow morning. For our Friday, going to be breezy, especially in the morning hours, kind of on the backside of that front. Those highs in the upper 30s, low to mid, and even some upper 40s. Closer to the border you get, though, 62 in Presidio, so going to still be relatively mild there. For those winds, like I said, a little bit breezy in the morning, so definitely going to see those calming down, though, as we head throughout the day. So that is a little bit of a plus side, but definitely the morning is looking to be a little bit breezy and gusty out there. For our CBS7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast, Saturday and Sunday still going to be on the chilly side. Monday, though, back into the 60s, kind of right around normal for this time of year, and a cold front rolling through Tuesday, bringing some moisture to the area. Overall, not looking super impressive with those rainfall amounts, but we'll definitely take all the moisture that we can get.
Still ahead, lawmakers are sprinting to pass a stopgap spending bill to avert a federal government shutdown that could happen this weekend. We have the latest from Capitol Hill next. Set to take effect at 12:01
The
a.m.
Senate
on
has
Saturday.
passed a
The
short-term
reprieve
spending bill
would only
to
be
keep the
temporary.
government open.
There will not be a shutdown on Friday because both sides have worked together. The government will stay open. Services will not be disrupted. We will avoid a needless disaster.
And now it's up to the House. Some on the right oppose the short-term plan, meaning House Speaker Mike Johnson will need the help of House Democrats to pass the bill. Passing the short-term bill gives Democrat and Republican negotiators more time to work on the bigger spending bill, which includes strengthening border security in exchange for more aid for Israel and Ukraine.
I'm engaged right now 24/7 in trying to land the border provisions of the agreement.
Some House Republicans are strongly resisting aid for Ukraine, but other GOP members say it's critical.
This is about ending Putin. And everybody needs to understand if we don't, those who choose not to own what I think will be the worst decision that they've made in their lives.
The Pentagon says it has run out of money to provide any more weapons to Ukraine until Congress acts. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
National leaders at the White House Wednesday and said the vast majority of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle want to support Ukraine, but a small minority in the House may hold it up, which he said would be a shame. All right, Sawyer. It felt really warm today, almost summer-like temperatures.
Yeah, it definitely did not feel like January out there.
No.
A little bit more like March, what we usually see around March. But bad news is all good things must come to an end. We're actually seeing a cold front rolling through portions of the state right now, looking to make its way to the Midland, Odessa area by about midnight. So our high temperatures tomorrow only going to be in the 30s and 40s for the majority of us. Some areas, especially closer to the border, looking at those 60s, but we're going to see cold and chilly conditions over the next couple of days. And then another front rolling through on Tuesday, not dropping those temperatures terribly, so we are going to see temperatures in the 50s and 60s this upcoming week. but bringing the chance for some rain with it, which is so good because we ended out the year of 2023 with a deficit of about 7 inches of rain. So we definitely need any moisture that we can get for 2024.
All right, so bringing some light sweaters back out for the next couple of days. Thanks for joining us in CBS7 News at 9.